Everything we have said in this series of videos on persuasion in your life has been introducing us to the topic of persuasion and adding layer upon layer to our knowledge. If you've been viewing each video, you've already begun to be more aware of the many times you encounter persuasion. You may be surprised at being able to recognize and put a name to the type of persuasion. You are learning how to be more persuasive yourself. We need to talk in this video about one of the most important areas of persuasion you will need to learn to master in our fast-paced world if you're going to persuade others. Our topic is persuasion and the internet and social media. New communication technologies always disrupt and reinvent how we create and share meaning with others with the intent of motivating others to take action on the information we share. Simply put, new communication technologies change how we persuade others. For example, what was it like to be someone who wanted to persuade people on a wide-scale basis when Gutenberg invented the printing press? It must have seemed like the possibilities were then endless. Today, we're living in a world where the internet and social media provide instant and constant access to more information than those who lived a short time ago might have even believed possible. So the question is, how has the internet and social media changed persuasion? You can argue that a persuasive argument is still defined in the same way. We should argue that if you're going to be a persuader of others, that you should also always be ethical in how you persuade others. What changes is your persuasive strategy. The internet and social media provides the means to develop new communication and persuasive strategies to persuade others. If you are seeking to persuade for almost any reason, you should be working to master this powerful tool. But remember, regardless of the strategy used, your effort must be guided by analyzing your strategies using a persuasion appraisal. With any persuasion appraisal, there are 4 questions to be asked. 1. Was the persuasion strategy effective? 2. What were the salient characteristics of the persuasive message? 3. How well did the persuasive message adapt to the audience? And 4. Can the effectiveness of the persuasive appeal be explained in terms of a persuasion theory? We will look at 6 principles that Dr. Robert Cialdini proposes concerning persuasion and social interaction in his 2007 book, Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion. The 6 principles that Cialdini shares are reciprocation, commitment and consistency, social proof, liking, authority, and scarcity. These 6 principles can be used as strategies of persuasion. As these are explained, think of your own examples of these strategies of persuasion on the internet and social media. The first principle is reciprocity. Reciprocity means to return a favor or a gift that someone has given to us. Think of it like this. We give a tip to a server, and that tip is provided to a server because of the good service they have provided to us up front without a defined contract of payment. And the diner reciprocates with an appropriate tip when paying the bill. Also, businesses try to excel in customer service, and then they will send us an email asking us as the customer to rate their service with a top rating. Thus, to persuade people, You use the strategy of giving a gift so that people will feel motivated to act in some way or to reciprocate. The second principle is commitment and consistency. The goal is to get people to continue to act based on their initial commitment to purchasing a product, liking a site, or even becoming a part of a group. Salespeople will tell you that the first sale is the hardest to make, but people easily make a second purchase or become persuaded to be loyal to continual purchases from the store. The strategy is to promote loyalty and a commitment to continuing the relationship. The third principle is social proof. This relies on the strong desire we all have to be a part of what others are doing, what others are buying or wearing, or what other people are experiencing. You can use this strategy by promoting the testimonies of people that your target audience might best identify with. You can promote the choices others are making. People also want to be assured that others are going to like and approve of the purchase they make. The fourth principle is liking. This, like the other approaches, is also an indirect strategy of persuasion. The truth is that we like to do business with and be persuaded by people that we like. At times, we will make an unplanned purchase because we end up liking the salesperson we're dealing with so much. Many persuasive people have used this approach using social media today. The strategy is to develop a huge following of people that like you. We sometimes say that people become famous for being famous. Once people have a huge social media following, they can transition into promoting almost any business product that fits the audience. There might be 4 sisters whose last name begins with K who've done this masterfully. The fifth principle is authority. This is when a persuader focuses on using the testimony of famous people, influential people, or experts. Of these authorities, what you see the most often in persuasion appeals on social media are people being persuaded because of influential or famous people. For example, we see people who are famous for their music taking up social causes or political positions to persuade those that follow them. The question that begs to be asked is what makes this person an expert or authority solely because of what they've accomplished in the music field. But if you ask if the appeal is successful, the answer is often yes, based just on this strategy. The sixth principle is scarcity. The perception, real or not, that a product or opportunity is available for a limited time motivates people to take action. If we critically consider whether the perception is true, we may or we might modify our decision. But the fact is we often find ourselves responding to limited time only offers and products that are exclusive because of limited runs of production. Whether wanting to get a deal or be one of the only ones who have something, the scarcity principle of persuasion works. Studying current research on whether or not all 6 principles are still valid currently with the internet and how social media is used today is important. The fact is that there are some writers who will argue that only liking and social proof are valid strategies that work effectively currently. An important point to make about the internet and social media as a new communication technology that helps us create and share meaning with others with the intent of motivating others to take action is that it is constantly changing. The strategy that works the best today will possibly be different a few months or a year from now. To be a persuader of others using the internet and social media, and I believe it is an incredibly powerful tool, you need to constantly evaluate your efforts using the 4 questions used in a persuasive appraisal. Ask, 1, was the persuasion strategy effective? 2, what were the salient characteristics of the persuasive message? 3, how well did the persuasive message adapt to the audience? And 4, can the effectiveness of the persuasive appeal be explained in terms of a persuasion theory? Persuasion is always the same, but the strategy we use to effectively persuade should constantly evolve. See you in the next video.